I either had a great success this week or kind of made a mistake. We will tell the story and then you will help me decide. So this week, right, we're in week 6 of the Amplify Our Feminine Energy Challenge, where we are working on noticing and following our intuition. And I had this moment this week where my spouse asked me to drive them to an appointment. And immediately, my intuition told me this was going to go very poorly for me. Uh, and my intuition, by the way, was right if we skip to the end of the story. The kind of right where I lost the entirety of my afternoon plans and ended up taking some pretty serious pain medication. But it did tell me. And I decided to do it anyway. And this wasn't a case where I didn't listen to my intuition or I didn't recognize that that's what it was. It was that I heard it and I said, you know what? I know what my reason is for wanting to do this. And I did it anyway. So you can see that there's two parts here, right? There's the part of success. I did indeed listen to my intuition. I heard it. It was right. I practiced finding out that it was going to be right. But also part 2, I did the thing anyway. Oh, quick side note, by the way, on doing it anyway. Thank you to Tiffany, who back in our week of no complaining said that she would, instead of just no complaining, she'd find 2 things to be grateful for in any situation. And I totally did that while doing this driving. I found 2 things to be grateful for. 1, the sunshine, it was a beautiful day. And 2, that I was getting to help my spouse with something because quite honestly, especially with the wrist brace on, it has been my spouse's turn to help me with things a lot, and I was really glad to be able to switch that around. So, what do we think? Is it a success? I listened? Or is it a mistake because I didn't do what it told me? Now, based on the story so far, I'd say this is a success. I listened, it was right. But my one thing that I don't like here is that part of why we're doing this listen to your intuition this week is that we are trained by society not to listen to our intuition. In fact, not just not to listen, but to toss it out, to believe that voice is totally wrong. Often there is a situation that you could be in and you're like, no, 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 I just want to keep my options open. Or especially when it comes to judging other people. We don't want to be evil and judgmental, right? We come up with stories for why this might be fine. This person didn't mean what they said that way. I can be a kind human and lend this really sketchy person money. Um, you just don't want to be living in a life that's mired with preconceived notions and biases. We are spending so much time working through our unconscious biases, right? And that's beautiful and important. But you know what else is beautiful and important? Being able to listen to yourself. So when we spend all of this time not just hearing the intuition and saying, you know what, I think that's just my biases, I'm going to let it go, but instead saying, I hear what my intuition is saying. No, actually, I don't hear. My intuition is wrong. My intuition is always wrong. I'm just going to box it up and put it in a corner. Then we come to the point where we refuse to listen to our intuition ever. We practice not listening, and we hit a challenge like this, and the question becomes not, should I follow my intuition, but how do I even hear what my intuition wants to tell me? And it's because of that, which is really baked into our culture, which wants to be open and cognitive instead of heart or gut based, right? It's that reason that makes me wonder if maybe it was a mistake to do this driving. Except I do like my reasons for it. So you know what? I'm going to call it a win. Yay me. And wow, where was I? Right. So that was maybe a win, maybe a mistake. But I've had a lot of other definitive wins this week of hearing that little voice in my head. So I think I mentioned probably in the comments to my short video for this week's challenge that I did that challenge in my pajama bottoms. And you can't see them, right? Because I'm always sort of face to camera. I don't know if I stand up. Can you see what I'm wearing right now today? No, you can't. I'm wearing a skirt. It's lovely. Um, yeah, that was weird and awkward. Whatever. So when I did the recording, I did it in my pajama bottoms, which I normally wouldn't do. Right? I like to be dressed, be focused, figure out what I'm gonna say, and say it. And while I was, washing my face and I had a shirt on, my brain said to me in this little tiny voice, you know, you could record this in your pajamas. And I thought, I could record this in my pajamas. And the little tiny voice just told me, I'm going to do it. And so I did it. And that turned out to be a good choice because I then had the period in between recording it and when I had to go do things to make some quick little changes, put in a little title card, right? And get it uploaded to YouTube. And the uploading took a couple extra minutes this time around because I was traveling and not on my home Wi-Fi. And in those couple extra minutes, I put a skirt on or trousers. I don't remember what I wore that day, but I knew that it wasn't pajama bottoms when I left when I left the room that I was in. Um, so that was really nice and convenient. And that was my intuition telling me, you can do this thing. Other things my intuition told me, obviously, it told me, if you drive, it's not going to go well for you. And it didn't. My intuition was right. There was one other thing that I was going to say that I definitely heard my intuition tell me this week. And I've already forgotten what it was, but that's okay. The point is that some things happened. Oh, I know what it was. I was walking around and I saw a sign for a hat shop. And I walked in and I found the hat that I needed. And this part of this story is an anecdote that has nothing to do with intuition, but I'm going to tell it anyway because I want to share. So, I have been wanting a rain hat with like the felt brim that goes all the way around, keeps my glasses dry, for a while. I've made myself a fisherman's hat style hat, which is pretty good, but like it won't withstand a deluge, right? So I thought I'd found one a few years ago. It turned out not to work. It was too small for my head. I gave it to my mother. She's very grateful. But I still need one for me. So periodically I look around. There are not a lot of hat shops in the world. You look for a milliner. It's not an easy thing, at least not in the United States. And I was in Canada and I saw this sign for a hat shop and I went into the hat shop. It's May, friends. Most of the hats in this hat shop are straw sun hats. That's what they're selling. It is straw sun hat season. But there was this little display of like the 7 remaining fall and winter hats from, last season. And in that display of 7, there was a hat that's in my color, has the brim, fit me perfectly. I didn't even have to get them to do any hat band resizing. And I'm going to show it off in this video because you need to see it. Yes, it's beautiful. Ta-da! Here we are. I am ready for fall with my gorgeous rain hat. It fits on my head. Didn't even have to resize. So glorious. Interesting thing about when I went to buy this hat, by the way. I was with a friend. So the reason that I was in Vancouver is I was meeting with a friend who does not live local to me, and we were just going to have a good time. Yes, I am going to wear the hat a little longer because I'm not going to get a chance for a while anyway. And this friend of mine is like, she is the queen of feminine energy when it comes to, she doesn't worry how things are going to work out. She just knows what she wants. She follows her intuition. Things just work out for her. She told this story to me over dinner of how she wanted to buy a horse. She's a horse girly. She's had a horse before, but she didn't have one at the time. She wanted a new horse, or new to her horse. And the day she decided that, yep, she's going to get a horse, she saw an ad for one that was $200. Not bad. She goes to talk to the guy who's selling the horse. Yes, she went to see a man about a horse. And he thinks this horse can't be rehabbed. It's got problems, which is the reason that it's so inexpensive. And she's like, oh, no. She can see what's going on. She can totally rehab this horse. And the guy is like, oh my gosh, if you can actually do that, I'll give it to you for $100. So she says, great, I'll be back. I just need to go get a job, which sounds so weird, but when you think about it, horses are expensive, right? It's the upkeep, the barn you keep them in, health stuff. I don't know. I'm not a horse girly, but she knows. She's got all the things. The important, expensive part of having a horse is keeping it. So she goes to this random store that she's passed earlier in the day that had a help wanted sign out friend. She goes in, she asks for what's the help wanted job. It's not for her. It's not a thing that she can do. But they ask, well, what were you hoping it was? She tells them what her specialty is, and they're like, actually, we were just about to open a position for this. She got the unlisted job the day before they listed it. And then she could go back and get the horse. So this is my friend. And seeing her just live her life this way, wandering from place to place, knowing what she wants, not knowing how it's going to happen, hearing stories like that one and others of just, her life since I've seen her last. It was really inspiring, especially when I'm thinking about our feminine energy challenge. And that she doesn't need this challenge. She's got this down. And it was really lovely to be like, oh, this can work. It's working for someone. It's working for her. Right. We will now leave the tangent. I'll take off my hat. We're untangenting. Oh, hat, you're so lovely. So that's how my using my intuition week is going for our Amplify Our Energy challenge. I'd love to give you some tips and tricks. Do I have any? I think I have 3, besides just if you hear the little voice, listen to the little voice. My first one is to just take 10 seconds periodically and do a quick body scan. See if there's something that you hadn't like consciously hadn't consciously noticed. Maybe that's an excited feeling that you're having, a lightness in your chest or a sinking in your stomach, and use those as a guide to what your intuition might be telling you. Another one is just practice using your intuitive judgment. And I know we don't want to be judgmental, so my tip for this one is go to Pinterest and have quick intuitive moments about looking at some set of random people or random outfits that you see. And your intuitive judgment is, would this outfit look good on me? Yes, no. And you'll just practice having that intuitive moment and listening and believing it. You're not judging those people. The outfit looks great on them. That's not the question. Will it look great on you? And my third one is for when you have a little bit more time and there's something specific. So if there's something specific and you can't decide, yes, I should do this, no, I shouldn't do this, etc., you're going to take a piece of paper or your journal or whatever and write as your title line what the thing is. And then just have a complete snap judgment and write a whole paragraph, maybe a whole page, of why that snap judgment is definitely the right answer. And then when you get to the end of it, see if you feel light and free and just like, oh, yeah, I was so right, spot on, this is the right answer. Or if you feel kind of heavy and anxious and you're like, I'm going to pretend I hadn't done this and choose my own adventure and go and do the other option. And hopefully the feeling in your body, the feeling in your mind will help you figure that one out. All right, I think that's all my tips and tricks, all of my sort of stream of consciousness ramble about how it's going for me. If you have tips for me, please do leave them in the comments because I will try them. As you can see, I did, one of Tiffany's this week. Not the week in which she suggested it, but I did it. It happened. I will take all of your suggestions. I will give them a go. I will see how they work for me and how they don't and report back. Until then, yeah, leave that in the comments. You can also leave what's a thing that worked for you in the comments. When was a moment that you heard your intuition? Did you heed it? Da da da. And until Monday, I guess that's it. On Monday, we will have our 7th and final challenge in the shorts. Oh, shorts, before I forget. So I posted a short this week about savoring the moment. And it was really, I think it was 30 seconds of one of my cats just purring and being adorable. And for me, that's savoring the moment. It's savoring the moment of slowing down, of enjoying, the adorable cat. She forced me to rest because she was on top of my chest and I was not going anywhere. And we talked about this in week 1, that part of slowing down, one of our tips and tricks, mine and Tiffany's and maybe yours, was to slow down and savor the moment. And I thought, oh, this is fun. I'll post a savor the moment video. And then I realized as I was thinking about it more later, if I keep posting more videos of savor the moment, for me, it's basically going to be cats purring and things I'm eating, which is just really very old school Twitter, back when it used to be called Twitter. So I don't know. Are we liking this? Are we not liking this? Do you want some more savor the moment videos? Let me know so that I can know whether or not to post them. I don't know. In the comments, DM me, send me an email, whatever. I'm pretty available. Great. So I'll see you on Monday for our 7th and final challenge.